Here we go. We are live. Kind of tired tonight, guys. I'm in my jams already. I'm ready for bed. I worked hard today. Where's the chat? Well, I'm not seeing anybody come on here. I started it too early. Oh, we got one. I don't know who you are, but hello. Tired. I almost wanted to call this off, but here he is. He has to make an appearance. Hello. Everybody say hello, Gandalf. Hello, Gandalf. Come on. Beat it. Hello, S&M. Glad you could join me tonight. I am tired. I worked my butt off. Hello, Marlene Lopez. I was working in the garden all day, guys. All day. I put a brand new greenhouse together by myself, which was quite a feat. And then, after I got that all put together, I got all my seeds planted. Hello, Denise, the Wandering Artist. You are back again. Hello. I'm seeing a lot of regulars. I had so much I wanted to do tonight. I wanted, I don't know if you guys seen my post on my page, but, I finally, it's taken 5 months. I started getting a formulary for this oil in November. And I finally got the last pieces of it last night. It's taken 5 months for my spirits to give me the formulary for this oil. And I wanted to make it tonight. But I think after I'm done here, I'm going to bed because I worked my butt off all day. And I am out of shape this winter. I have been so lazy, and I am out of shape. And the garden work, yeah, hard dogging, definitely. I know I look it too. I just got out of my bath, my Friday spiritual bath. I got to do every single Friday for this entire year. So and my hair is wet, and I'm in my bathrobe, and I worked hard today, so. Okay, maybe I should have started this a little. You know, I was gonna go take a nap, and then I was gonna get up at like 9 and do the live, and then I was like, no, let me get it done, let me get it over with, and then I'll go take a nap. But it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of people joining us. I only got 4 of you, so maybe this will be a short one tonight. Good Friday. Do you guys know what the significance of Good Friday is, other than the Christian concept of it? Hello, Tuka Waka. You are a regular. You're always coming in here. I'm trying, guys. I'm tired. All right, so let's talk about Good Friday a little bit. I don't know if those that are not initiated in ATR systems probably don't know the significance of Good Friday in the ATRs, but this is a weekend of a lot of shit being thrown around. It is renowned, it is known, there are warnings about it. That everybody tonight is supposed to hunker down. We're supposed to hunker down and throw up all the protections we have and just kind of take cover. Because there's a lot of shit flying tonight. Hello, Dragon SD. How's everybody doing tonight? Slowly gaining numbers here. Does anybody have any questions yet? I will do my best to answer in my delirious, tired state. I had so much energy earlier today. You went through a living hell tonight. Oh no. I had so much energy this afternoon. I was like, I'm gonna get this gardening done. I'm gonna do a live, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make an oil. I'm gonna do that, and here I am. Something is up. Yes, it is. There is a lot of caca flying around tonight, guys. Get your protections up. Burn your candles. Get them lit. Get your do some baths. Clean your house. Do something. Hunker down. There is caca flying tonight, and you might not even be the target of the caca, but just as much that's being thrown around tonight, the energy is just wonky as hell. So many people out today. Yeah, so many people staying in and hunkering down too. You were publicly humiliated by a YouTuber. What? That's not very nice. And who was that? Hello, Dynasty. My neighbor just shot himself in the head. What? What? Guys, he is not a good person. I'm laying low. A lot of upheaval. What the hell? Do you have a barrier of protection set up around your property using plants? I do, and I find it's one layer that helps. I wouldn't necessarily say I have a barrier set up using plants per se, but I do have lots of protections in my like buried in my planters. If that makes any sense. Like I bury them in my planters that I put my plants in, the pots, you know, and I bury them in the garden beds and all that kind of stuff, but I do not have specific plants for protection. I just planted all my seeds today, guys. Actually what I was gonna do after I was done putting up the greenhouse and planting all the seeds, I wanted to do a little short video of the start, you know, of the garden to document it this year. And after it was done, I was like, oh. I didn't even have the energy to go back out there and walk around with the video camera and show everybody what I planted and the new greenhouse and what's going on. So maybe I'll do that Sunday. Or you know what? We are supposed to get up to 4 inches of snow on Sunday, on Easter. What the fuck is going on, you guys, man? That's more snow than we had all winter put together. I'm telling you, dude, what is up, guys? People are shooting themselves and getting embarrassed on YouTube and what? What's going on? Going to be interesting hiding those eggs. Yeah, well, you know, it'd be really fun if you didn't paint them. Don't paint the eggs, just throw them out in the snow piles. There you go, go find them. Oh, if you guys got snow, do it. I'm telling you. We don't have any kids around here. I'd totally do that. Me. Keep jumping. It's saying bad connection. Why is it doing that? Did that last time too, but I thought it was because I was downstairs and I didn't have a good signal. Can I talk about shape-shifting versus possession? Seems one, you inhibit the spirit versus you being inhibited. Not familiar in ATR and shape-shifting a thing. I actually, Tukawak, I don't know much about shapeshifting other than legends and lore. I don't even know if that's a real thing. Now my husband actually has claimed that he swears up and down that when he was living in London, he came upon a fucking werewolf, like in the city of London, sitting up on a step, and it had this fucking doll in its mouth. And he swears up and down it was a werewolf. But I really don't know anything other than legends and lore about shapeshifters. There's all kinds of different ones, and it seems like every culture has a legend and lore about shapeshifters. The Native Americans have them, Australians have them, and the tribes down there, oh my god, Aztec had them. The French and the Creole, especially down in Louisiana, New Orleans area, they have their own shapeshifter legends and lore. I mean, I know a lot of the legends and lore, but as for it being a real thing, I don't have any experience with that. So I don't know. Versus possession, I would have to say those are two entirely completely different things, and that possession is definitely a real thing. That is not a legend or lore. That's a reality. Be careful of a guy named Cameo Dave who makes fun of other YouTubers. He used me in a video on another YouTuber site making fun of the fact that I gave money to him on Super Chat. Okay. Why did you give him money on Super Chat? What did you give him money for? So you gave him money, and then he did a video making fun of you giving him money? What? What? Dude, craziness tonight. What is going on, people? Where am I at for it's warm in Georgia? Yeah, I heard I got a girlfriend down there in Alabama, a very good friend. And she's in like the 80s and shit down there. I'm in Missouri. We are in the Midwest in misery. Yes. I hate it here. I can't wait. I can't wait to move. I hate this place. Embarrassing question since I am new. What is ATR? ATR is abbreviation for African traditional religions. This encompasses, it's an umbrella term for any African traditional religion or African diaspora religion, the ADRs, or ADT, African diaspora tradition, if it's not a religion. But it encompasses voodoo and voodoo, Santeria, Palo, what else? I don't think it encompasses a Spiritismo. It might a little bit. I think it's melded a little bit, but the Spiritismo more comes from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba kind of area. I don't think that it could be a diaspora tradition. I'm not too sure on the term of that one. What do I think about voodoo dolls? I think they're a bunch of shit. Voodoo dolls are for the unknowing touristy masses of people. Now, poppets is a different thing. I use poppets a lot, but they're not, I mean, when you say voodoo doll, the first picture that pops in people's heads is a doll with somebody and you're sticking fucking pins in it or something. That's total 100% bullshit. Poppets are a real deal, which are little dolls, but they're actually mainly used for healing. I mean, you can do hexery with them, but it's not normal to do it with poppets or dolls of any kind. I'm having a bad connection again, it says. What the hell? And my connection, my bars are up the whole way. Why does it keep saying I'm having a bad connection? Yeah, the poppets and the dolls are really used more for healing and protection than cursing, hexing, or hurting or damaging somebody. The media and the movies, Hollywood got it backwards. Thank you. Shapeshifting is a thing in my culture. Just not sure of its reference in ATRs. I'm not really too sure of it either. Like I said, I believe every culture has a legend of shapeshifting. However, if it's an ATR shapeshifter, I mean, I haven't done any research into that, but just off the top of my head, I would think it would be like a were-lion or a were-jaguar or cheetah or an African type animal that, you know, lives on that continent would be my guess. Now there is a tribe in Africa. I don't remember the name of the tribe, but the chief of the tribe's name is, what's his name? Credo Mutwa? I think that's his name. Credo Mutwa. That sounds right. His tribe has legends about lizard people. I don't know if they fall in the realm of shape-shifting per se, or reptile. Lizard and reptile people. Credo Mutwa. Was that his name? Honey? Credo...
What falls into shape-shifting, yeah.
I don't know if they shapeshift, though. I think they're actually like a race of lizard reptile people. Like, I don't know if they're actually a shape-shifting deal, like a human turning into something deal. Those who like giving donations to help the channel are welcome to, but are not forced. Dave makes fun of people who do traveling videos, but now he has taken it too far. Showed my donation, even thought it was public, and made fun of two of us. Going ka-ching, ka-ching. Well, damn. Well, I guess you learned a lesson. Here's a little tip for you guys. In any bad situation, if something bad happens to you or something unfortunate or anything like that, you can take it as an unfortunate thing, but instead of saying, why did this happen to me, or why is this happening to me, flip that and say, what is this trying to teach me? What lesson did I learn from this? Because there is a lesson in everything. And when you flip it like that, instead of being a victim and saying, oh, why me, and that kind of mentality, if you flip it and learn and look for the lesson in it, that's how we grow. That's how we grow, people. Watch the mosquitoes. Where am I watching mosquitoes? Oh yeah, I did my live like 2 weeks ago outside, and I was getting bit up. It's crazy, and now it's going to snow on Sunday? What? Dave is not the only one made fun of the carpetbagger, but now is going after his people who donate to him. Well, I would not follow him anymore, and don't give him any more money. I don't know. He did this with the intention of hurting his people who donate. That sounds like someone who is mentally ill, honestly. Why would you want to hurt people who donate? People donated to me, I wouldn't hurt it. In fact, my customers, I treat them very well. I treat especially my regular customers. You guys are on here. I hope you guys think I treat you well. I'm always sending little gifts, little perks, little thank yous, little coupons, you know, and all that stuff to my customers. I try and treat them very well. Now you hear stories about reptilian so-called aliens. Yeah. Yep. Carpetbagger is a good guy, never begs for money. Don't know why Dave has it in form. I don't know this circle that you're in, Denise. Dave is a dick. Okay. Yeah, I'd actually say he's bordering on the line of a mental illness. Because why would you want to hurt or make fun of people who are supporting you? That doesn't make much sense to me. I am a good person, no worries. Well, thank you. I try. But nobody's perfect, you know? Nobody's perfect. But that's the whole journey, right? That's the whole reason. I mean, a lot of people, you know, they're in traditions and they initiate and do all this stuff for the wrong reasons. And they learn very quickly that it doesn't work that way. People come into it looking for power, or, you know, thinking they're gonna be throwing freaking Bruja, Berseria all the time, hexing everybody and be feared, and I don't know, this is the stuff people, you know, come into it with, but they learn very quickly that that's not what it's about, and that's not the point of it. The point is to grow spiritually and grow yourself, and it's hard. Growing pains growing pains, there's a reason that that's a saying. It's painful. Transformation and growing is never painless. It's very painful. It's very hard. But in the end, it's very worth it if you can get through it. If you can get through it. I've gone through some shit, you know, and I'm not even in a year yet. My 1 year will be next month, not April, but May. Yeah, will be my 1 year, and I've gone through a lot of growing pains. A lot of growing pains. It's not easy, and I witnessed personally, just in this, you know, short 10 months or 11 months that I have been initiated in ATRs, that I have witnessed people personally go the wrong way and find out that it's not what they thought it was. You know, it's a hard thing. That's why I put a warning. I make an oil called Congo oil, and it's specifically for transformation. And I actually have to put a warning on that oil on the website because transformation is never painless. And it usually causes a lot of chaos, a lot of pain, a lot of havoc, but there's always order out of the chaos. So, yeah, I actually have to put a warning on that label, or a warning on that oil. Hold up, I missed some stuff, scrolling back. Okay. A spell to piss off an ex that was abusive. I don't know what you mean, Dynasty. Are you asking for a spell? Because if you are, you're on the wrong channel, love. You talked about not substituting herbs. Can you talk about your new formula and receiving formulas? Most of my formulas come straight from Spirit. And sometimes they take a long time to get all the ingredients. You know, I'll get a piece, you know, 1 month, and then next month all of a sudden I'll get another piece, and I got to keep a list of pieces until I finally get all the puzzle pieces put together. And I just finally got the last puzzle piece last night, and it took me quite a bit. Because I was because actually what I got was 2 new oils. What I got was 2 new oil formularies, but the one will not be for sale. I can't sell that one. But it was confusing because the ingredients are the same, but one has less ingredients. So it's like, I kept getting ingredients for an oil, but then when I was given the second one, it was like, it's like everything on this list minus this. Okay, so I had to pick out the ones that were for the second oil that will not be for sale. But yeah, I did get a new one. I want it to be a surprise. I want to talk about it. I do, but I want it to be a surprise. When I announce it. Well, I don't know. There's only 9 people in here, but other people are gonna watch it before. I was actually gonna make it tonight and probably announce it either tomorrow or Sunday. Do you guys want to know? Do you guys want to know the new oil that's going to be coming out? I'll tell you what, has a very much of a signature of the spirit that I got it from. So it has quite a bit of a twist to it. It's going to be really interesting. Really, really, really interesting. Well, you made a good point. That teacher is not one who shows their chest or fingernails. Right? And no face? Don't trust anybody that doesn't show their face. They're hiding something. Obviously, I mean, common sense, they're hiding. They're hiding. So why would you trust them? Wow, how often do you use that oil? Not very often, Denise. I don't use it very often. I use it when I'm stuck. When I'm kind of stuck and maybe there's some blocks, and no matter what I do, or I can't make a deal with the spirits to get the blocks out the way, or no matter what I do, if I'm stuck, I'll use that oil. Yeah. Not for sale. Pretty potent. Hey, well, yes, it is pretty potent, but I mean, I have quite a few things that aren't available to the public. Some of them are just too dangerous. Some of them are just way too dangerous, and it's too much of a liability to offer them to the public. Like, example, my hot foot powder that I sell in my shop is my average hot foot powder. Let me just put it that way. It's extremely potent and works extremely well. Just look at the reviews. How the one girl, I couldn't believe it. It surprised me. I was like, damn, I'm that good. This chick ordered some, and she lived in Hawaii, which of course is an island, and she wanted to get rid of some neighbors or some roommates or somebody. She ordered the hot foot from me, and within 3 days of her putting down that hot foot, not only did the people move, but they left the whole goddamn island. I was like, damn, I should run them off the whole island. Yeah, so that's my average hot foot powder that I offer. I have one called Killer Hot Foot that I do not, nobody's going to get that from me because it's too much of a liability. I don't want to be sued, honestly. And people are not the brightest, a lot of them are, and this stuff is really nasty. It's really, and I can't. But the oil that will not be for sale is actually a spirit oil. It's for one of the spirits that I have, and I got the formulary from the spirit directly to make them an oil. And since it's my spirit and it's in my tradition that I'm initiated into, I will not be selling that oil or offering it publicly. I will offer it to people in my house that I'm initiated in and stuff like that, but not publicly, not to the general public. Okay, weird things about today. It was pretty chaotic, but I gave the best reading ever and the most accurate. Wait, oh, it jumped. I lost it. Does this mean I work best under stress? Probably. A lot of people work their best under stress. I do, actually, sometimes. You know what I do best when I'm stressed? Clean. When I'm stressed out or when I'm pissed off, I can clean like a motherfucker. Like, I can clean, and, really good job when I'm mad, because I'm just furious. And I'm just scrubbing the shit. All pissed off and stuff. I do a lot of cleaning when I'm angry to get that frustration out. Okay. I had a meditation where will you quit, Gandalf? God, so annoying. I had a meditation where they were putting the women underground in tunnels, and it felt like South Africa. Do you know about underground tunnels in South America, not South Africa? Do you know of underground tunnels in South America? And spiritual people went underground. The only underground tunnels I'm aware of in South America are like the drug runner tunnels. I mean, they dig them tunnels under the border and stuff, right? Those are the only tunnels I'm aware of in South America. Now, I am aware. Very bad connection again. Why does it keep doing that? That's so weird. I wonder. I think my phone's getting hot, y'all. Let me unplug it. Hold on. There. Now let's see if the phone cools down a little bit. Yeah, there are. I am aware of the Mayans actually had a lot of underground tunnels and that such, and they were spiritual and related to the gods. Like, I know one was like a representation of the underworld, where you pass through death and all that. But those are the only tunnels I know of in South America. Clean. I wish I had that curse. Ha! I hate cleaning, man, and I swear, my spirits, they got me cleaning so much, man. It's like, I clean my ass off, and I'll go downstairs, and I'll start my divination, and all I'm throwing is clean. Clean, 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 clean. Take a bath. Clean, 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 clean. Take a bath. It's like, damn, I can only clean, like, how much cleaner does it gotta be? Cleaning all the damn time. All I'm ever told to do is clean. It's like, damn. But each time I clean, I gotta clean with something different. Like, one day I'm told to clean, with a remove negativity and cross stuff kind of deal. And then the next day it's clean with sweet herbs, to bring all that shit back in that I just, washed away. And then the next day it's, clean with protection stuff. And it's like, I never stop cleaning. Hoodoo and root workers and witches and conjurers have the cleanest motherfucking houses, and spiritistas. We got the cleanest fucking houses you ever gonna see. I'm telling you, because we just clean, and we clean everything. When you spiritually clean, you clean fucking everything. You clean doors and door jambs and cabinets and walls, and you fucking clean like everything when you clean. I do need to do a good spring cleaning around here, though. I really do. But I'm waiting, for it to get a little warm so I can open the windows and really, really get my clean on, Dust the ceiling and dust the ceiling fans and clean the light fixtures on the ceilings and, all that good stuff. This quote, Joan Rivers, wait. That's the trouble with houses. You have to clean them once a year. Once a year? Damn, must be nice. She probably had a bunch of maids and shit though cleaning her house all the time. It's like the spirits are obsessive compulsive cleaners. I mean, they are. They are. But it's caca. It's like, it's caca all the time. You gotta always, that's why we gotta take baths, spiritual baths all the time. It's the energy. It's not necessarily that things are physically dirty, but there's a lot of spiritual caca. And you pick it up every time you leave your house. And you go out there and you're around people and crap, and they got their caca and they got their caca on you, and then you come home with the caca, and then you gotta clean your house and you gotta take a bath, and it's a daily grind. What question do you wish people would ask? I don't know. I really don't know if I have a question that I wish people would ask. I mean, I was hoping at the beginning of this video that people would ask about the significance of Good Friday, but nobody did, so I just explained it anyway. Nobody asked about that. I don't know if I have questions that I wish people would ask. I just kind of roll with it. That's kind of what we do when we do a live. We just roll. Just roll with the questions, whatever y'all want to know. I'm not here for me, guys. I don't do this for me. I do this for you. I do this to help you and try my best to answer your questions. So I don't think I come into it with a motive of, gee, I wish they'd ask me this. I'd like to talk about that, because if I want to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it whether somebody's asking it or not. So while I was doing a reading on the phone, I kept getting shown, clean this, throw that out, and what are you going to do with this? Yeah, well, I tell you what, clutter, and just, I mean, it doesn't even have to be dirty, and just clutter, unorganization, and all that stuff is a mecca haven for spirits. Negative spirits, I should say. They love places that are cluttered and unorganized and physical caca, and they'll camp in that shit. They'll set up camp, they'll hunker down, and if you got, even especially in like closets and stuff, so you got a messy, closet, stuff's not hung up right, or pile of clothes on the floor in the corner, or if you don't take care of that, they'll set up shop in that kind of shit. They will. They love clutter. Yeah. Uncluttering does a lot for both physical, mental, spiritual, all the way around, to live uncluttered. And I'm one to talk, because I don't really have clutter other than at my garage. The garage is really cluttered. And it's bad too, because every time I get something or bring something home that is wonky or has some caca on it and I don't feel like dealing with it, I just throw it out in the garage. I got like a haunted mirror out there. I got a haunted cross out there. I got all kinds of caca out in the garage, but we're actually, and it's cluttered, it's dirty, it's cluttered, there's bags of trash piled up, because in Kansas City, you're only allowed to put out 2 bags of trash every week. And you can't use a can. They gotta be bags. You gotta put the bags on the ground. You can't use a can, which is bullshit, because there's all kinds of dogs that roam the neighborhood, and they, you put the trash out at night because it comes in the morning, and the coons or the dogs or somebody tears the trash bags open because you can't use a can, and then there's trash all over the yard, and it's bullshit. But we're actually just waiting for the weather to clear up. It's been raining, guys. It's been raining here in the Midwest for, I swear, 2 weeks. I ain't seen the damn sun. Today was the first time I seen the sun in 2 weeks. It has been dreary, drizzly, raining, cold, yuck, for 2 damn weeks. So we've been waiting for the weather to break and clear and get a little bit nicer, and we're going to rent a dumpster and have it delivered, and we're going to clean house. We're cleaning out the garage, the breezeway, we're cleaning up the yard. I'm going to get some trash out of the cellar. I take a lot of shit down to my cellar, and then I have boxes of, caca piled up in the corner, empty cans and bottles and candles, and we're going to clean house as soon as the weather breaks and clears up. I don't know, scrolling back, guys. I keep missing stuff. I am so excited you're on live right now. Well, thank you. A gift of a thistle. That's cool. What question do you wish people would ask? Oh. Did I scroll back too far? Because I thought I already covered that one. Well, I scrolled back too far. Does my husband share my same beliefs? Yes and no. He's a spiritist as well. He's also initiated into a tradition, but it's not the same tradition that I'm initiated into. So I don't even know how to answer that. He understands it. He works with spirits the same as I. He doesn't actually do work. Like he doesn't work, but he has his own spirits that he works with, for his own things that he does or whatever. And like he likes to go gambling at the casino a lot. so he'll work with them for stuff like that, and so he understands it. I cannot deny that we've butted heads a couple times over it because it's not the same tradition. But yeah, I mean, everything's good. Everything's good. Have you encountered resistance entering ATRs because you are white? Sincerely wondering. That's a good question, actually, Tukawaka. I haven't personally experienced any resistance. I haven't had anybody say anything about it. My house is mixed, so we have melanated persons and white people persons, and I think we even have a few Spanish persons, maybe, or some mixed Spanish, like mixed melanated, mixed Spanish background persons. We're a mixed house, and I brought that up to my godfather the very first time I met him, when I went for my initiation, and I said, I'd mentioned something to him about, being accepted into the ATRs because I'm white, and he was like, don't buy me none, don't marry me none. He's got, like I said, our house is it's mixed. We got all kinds in our house, so I'm sure at some point in the future, along my path, that's going to come up with other practitioners, and that. But personally, I have not experienced that yet. We're knocking on wood there. Can I ask something? I heard of shrunken heads. What do you think about that? Shrunken heads are a real deal. I don't know. I mean, I know they have a spiritual purpose, but it's more of a tribal kind of thing. It's not like a religion, spirituality kind of thing. It's like a tribal, tradition of certain tribes. I think there were cannibalistic tribes as well that would do shrunken heads of their enemies. And I think if I remember correctly, I'm old, guys, and I've studied a lot of shit, so sometimes I mess stuff up. But if I remember correctly, the purpose for shrinking the head was to trap the enemy's spirit and strength. Like, in the head and have it as like a trophy, and maybe even call upon that spirit and power and energy, the strength of the warrior who was defeated, and along that lines. But it's along that lines, it is a spiritual kind of thing, but it's not a spiritual religion kind of thing. What?
Shrunken heads started in places like Argentina and Brazil before they were in Africa.
I don't know about that, because Africa is the oldest country
know,
with the oldest people.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of...
Okay, so Hub says they also do shrunken heads in Brazil and Argentina. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That they also do them there, that it's not just like an African tribal thing. So, there you go.
You see a lot of little short Indian-looking guys with heads.
Yeah, you're right. What would be your advice for someone who has started dealing with clients and charging them? I'm having a hard time dealing with clients and their perception of fair. Oh, perception of fair as in price. This is, I mean, my spirits have not permitted me to do work and readings for clients and general public yet. It is in my future. It's coming. I've actually, I mean, fair, you set fair. Your client doesn't set fair. If they think your prices aren't fair, then they're going to tell them to go to somebody else. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If they can't, you set your own value and your own worth. But when it comes to me and my tradition, my spirits will set the prices, not me. They will set the prices. They set the prices on some of my oils on my site. The ones marked with an asterisk are my specialty oils that my spirits have specifically given me recipes for. And they're very tedious and they take a long time to make. And those oils cost more. And the spirits set prices for those, not me. Because those are their formularies, they're their oils. So when it comes to me personally, my spirits will set the prices. So if somebody thinks the price is unfair, go to somebody else then that you think is fairly priced. I don't know what to tell you. Know your value, know your worth. Don't let anybody tell you anything different or make you feel less of a person or undervalue yourself. As far as dealing with clients, I tell you what, you got to be really... This is the way I'm going to do it. I'm just going to speak for me personally. You got to be really picky and choosy on who you take on as a client. I would not suggest just taking on any old person with any old problem that comes to you. Like, I probably won't do love work. That is work that I most definitely will probably almost always turn away. Or if I do it, it's going to be a ridiculous fucking amount that will hopefully deter people from getting that work from me. I don't want to do love work. My purpose is to help and heal. This is my purpose. This is my task. This is the charge that has been given to me by my spirits and my ancestors, is to help and to heal. So when it comes to stuff like love work and stuff like that, that's not a priority in what I'm supposed to be doing on my path. So yeah, be really picky and really choosy with your clients. I have, I do have people come to me all the time. I get inboxes and messages all the time, even though I'm not doing work or readings for general public. And I ignore 95% of them. But once in a while, there is someone that comes to me that I know that they were sent to me. I know that I am the only person who can help them. And it's usually a really bad situation. It's usually a life and death kind of situation, or something along that, something that severe. And these are the kind of people that are sent to me and that I try to help at this point in time. But there's a lot of scammer clients out there, girl. There's a lot of scammer clients. I had to block a couple of them that were scamming, and a bunch of my friends that are workers too. We've all had to block certain people because they scam people. They'll get, they'll pay for some work, and then with the PayPal or whatever, and then the worker will do the work, and then they'll do a fraud thing with PayPal, and the worker will lose their money, and so they're basically getting free work and scamming the worker. So there's scams on both sides of this. There's workers that are definitely scamming people. There's a lot of those. But then there's clients that are unscrupulous, and they're also scamming the worker. And then you got the clients that go worker to worker to worker to worker, and they get all this work done, and unless you do divination and you're in good with your spirits, you ain't gonna know. But your spirits will tell you if you're in good with them, and you got a good divination system. They'll tell you what the fuck's up with this person, and it's really up to the spirit, at least the way I work. It's really up to the spirits. They kind of pick who you're gonna do work or reading for. Like I've had people and they're like, we ain't even doing that. We ain't gonna read it. We don't want nothing to do with that. Forget that person. So this is, what it's like to be a spiritual worker. I always wondered about that. Yes, she's back. Hi, Megan. The Nothingless Chronicles. Hello. Thanks. Never knew that. Never knew. I'm getting a lot of never knew. That's okay. By the way, I like the cross on your table. Oh, back here? That's not, well, I mean, it is a cross, but that's actually, an antique, rosary. And it's up on the top shelf, and then the cross is like, the crucifix part is hanging down. That's my ancestors over there, and they wanted, funny story actually about that rosary. My husband gave me that rosary before I even met him. We met online, and this was back in the early 2000s, when it was like really weird to meet people online, We met online and we talked for a long time, and he would send me gifts. And one day he sent me this rosary, and it's actually an antique, very large wooden rosary that belonged to a priest previously. And so I've had it for like 20 years, and I always kept it in this jewelry box in my back room. I have a jewelry box way up on this shelf. I hardly ever get in that jewelry box, like ever. It's like this thick with dust probably on the top. And one day, I went in my room, and that rosary was out of the jewelry box, and it was nicely laid on top of a pile of fabric that I had laid there that I was sewing. I was sewing something, and I had a pile, and the rosary was just plopped right on top of there when I walked in, and I was like, damn, it came out of the box. So I asked around, because I have a lot of spirits. I was like, who did this? What's this? And it was my ancestors. Actually, they wanted it, so it's theirs now. Speaking of your oils, I'm in love with them. You're amazing. Oh, thank you, Megan. Because I'm so new selling my oils to people, like I've only ever really used them myself or close friends. I've given samples and stuff, and I even had I know a local Tata has a house here in Kansas City, and we became friends at one point, and I had, as a gift, because it's customary when you go to someone's house, if they're a witch, that you bring some kind of offering or a gift. So the first time I went to his house, as a gift, I gave him a little bottle of my Gambler's Luck oil. And now this is a priest of a tradition now. This is a high priest of a tradition. And within a month or two, he was here knocking on my door, wanting more of that oil. I was like, damn, are they that good? Like, but I love getting feedback from you guys. I'm so glad that my oils are working for you and doing their job. That's awesome. Love is too much of a hot topic. I won't do love rights either. Yeah, it's just a clusterfuck of caca. When you get people's love and relationships. You love my kitty? Oh, I didn't even know he was back there. The chat is covering up this part of the screen. I didn't even see him back there. That's Putter Putt. That's his name, Putter. We call him Putt, or Putter for short, but he's Putter Putt. How do you nicely refuse a client? I usually send them to somebody else. Well, I mean, right now at this point in time, like I said, I'm not allowed to really do work or reading. So when I get clients coming to me, I'm shipping them off. I'm shipping them off to other reputable workers, that I'm friends with. And it aggravates the hell out of me sometimes, because it's like, damn, I should be making that money. I should be taking on these clients. I should be helping these people. I'm not allowed to. Spirits say not yet. So, and I was actually talking to my godmother the other night, and I asked her how long were you initiated? How long were you in tradition before you were allowed, to do readings and do work? And she was like, 3 years. And I'm not even on a year yet. So it might be a while, guys. It might be a while. But I mean, every person's different. Every case is different. Everybody's spirits are different. So I don't know if it'll be that long, but I'm just putting the 3-year mark, so I'm not disappointed if it takes that long. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Even my creations, people are trying to haggle, so I've been dropping people. Yeah, you got to. I seen a post, Marlene Lopez, I seen a post on Instagram the other day, and it wasn't Conjure related. It was a crafter, and she makes like blankets, like she crochets them or something. And she posted screenshots of a message that a client had messaged her, asked her for a blanket, and she was like $400. And he was like, what the fuck, I can go to Walmart and buy a blanket for $15. And she was like, well, go to Walmart and buy a blanket then, because mine costs $400. So, I mean, that's just the way you gotta be. Don't let people undervalue you. Don't undervalue yourself. Yes, I learned the hard way about not reading for just anyone on certain topics. I feel like how you said, I'd rather be helping, and some things with a bit more substance. Yeah, I mean, in traditions, there's people that specialize in different things. Some people specialize in love and relationship work. There's some people that's all they do, is love and relationship work. Some people specialize in court case and legal kind of work, and and they do a lot of that. And there's people like me, I'll do the court case stuff, because in general that is helping, and it probably is healing at some point. But yeah, I'm mostly focusing on the healing and the helping. That's my calling, my path, and that's just what I'm good at. That's what I'm supposed to do. But love work, yeah, and I'm really good at it. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm really good at love work. But I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. In fact, I was debating with myself, I don't know if you guys looked at the page or my website lately, but I just started offering custom gree and mojo hands. And when I was putting up the list of custom gree, I fought myself for a good 20 or 30 minutes on whether or not I was going to offer the love gree-gree. And I wound up going with it because I'm not making a gree-gree like that. I'm not specifically getting involved in it. I'm not, you know, getting involved in the relationship work and you know, all that. I'm just making the gree-gree to do what it's supposed to do. And in fact, all right, I'll let you guys in on the secret. All 11 of you. My new oil is a love oil. It is. But there's a big but. The spirit that gave me this oil, how do I say this? The spirit that gave me this oil is a well-known spirit for love, but it's a different kind of love. It's a different kind of love. It's not really the platonic marriage kind of, that kind of love. It's more, well, let me just put it this way. The name of the oil is Tainted Love. That's going to be the name of the oil because of the spirit that gave me the formulary and what's in it. I'm calling it Tainted Love. It's a love oil with a twist because it's more of a dominate kind of love, if that makes any sense. It's not, it's a totally different kind of love oil. It's not Cupid. It's not Valentine's Day, and it's not marriage. It's a totally different kind of love. It's like the way your dog loves you kind of love. That kind of love. So yeah, it's gonna be called Tainted Love. I was actually gonna make it tonight, but I don't know if I got enough energy. I don't know if I got enough energy, enough stamina to make an oil tonight because they take a lot. They take a lot. I made a gree-gree yesterday and I'll tell you what, guys, I'm not charging enough for these gree-gree, and I'm already a tad higher than some of my competition, if I want to say competition, because nobody's really competition, but my competitors, I guess. I am a little bit higher than my competitors already, but I have seen the way that my competitors make gree-gree because they do videos and pictures on them making the gree-grees, and they mass produce them. They'll put a table in front of them, and they put 30, claws of gree-gree on the table, and they put the same ingredients in every single one, and they mass make a big bunch of gree-gree at once. And they don't put into it what I put into it. Mine are custom made per client at the time of order. I don't have a stock full of gree-gree sitting here. I don't have any. They are made per client, per condition, per situation. It's kind of my jump off point to starting to do work for people, because this is work for people. Because if you buy a gree-gree from me, if you don't send me a message, I'll probably message you, because they're custom per condition, per client, and I need to know what exactly the reason is for the purchase of that gree-gree, so I can make it work right, put the right shit in it. Like say someone buys a healing or what's it called, a radiant health gree-gree from me. Not all the health problems are going to be the same thing, right? Not everyone's going to be buying it for the same reason. So there's different herbs that pertain to different kind of illnesses and different kinds of situations. So I need notes with those orders, guys. I need messages. I need notes telling me exactly what the condition is that you want the gree-gree for. And I made one last night for a customer, and it drained the hell out of me. It's been a long time since I've had to make a gree-gree, and I forgot how draining it is to make a gree, because you're creating a spirit. When you make a gree-gree, you're creating a spirit, and then you are trapping it in this object. And it takes a lot of energy. I tell you what, when I do work, will you stop? I was having this conversation with a fellow worker friend of mine last night, and he's kind of the opposite of me. When he does work, and he's not used to it, because he was like, oh, my shit got hot tonight. And when he works, he's usually the opposite. Like, he'll drop the temperature in the house when he does work. Me, when I work, my shit is hot. When I do work, I can raise the temperature. Not can, I do. Whether I want to or not. I will raise the temperature in my house a good 10 to 15 degrees when I do work. My shit is hot. And that's just the spirits that I got with me. I got hot spirits. And, yeah, and I made that gree-gree the other night. It drained the hell out of me. I don't think I'm charging enough for them, guys. How do you specifically use your oils? It depends on the oil, honey. I mean, there's typical things you can do with any oil. You can wear it. You can work it with a candle. You can use it as an offering to certain spirits if that oil is pertaining to them. That kind of deal. You can use it to feed things like gree-gree and mojos. But it really depends on the oil. Haha, you know your stuff is incredible. I don't know. I really don't, Megan. I'm starting to believe it with all the reviews I'm getting. But I'm always, and I'm also an artist, guys. I'm a clothing designer. I guess it's the personality that I have and the personality of the artist that we always think our stuff is shit. We always do. And I guess, and it's not really good. I don't seek validation from people, but I do send out emails, after purchases for reviews, and it's not, I mean, yeah, I like to know that my stuff is good and it did its job and it's working for you, but it's not really for that purpose, because what the reviews help the other clients and customers. More so than it helps me. They look for those reviews on the products. They want to know if it works. They want to know what it did, So the reviews, I mean, they help me, but they help other people and the clients more. So, yeah. Also with love readings, not from a hoodoo perspective, the people who ask for them already know the answer. They just want you to tell them what they want to hear. And I can't lie to people. Do not lie to people. Ever. I tell people all the time what they don't want to hear. Oh, it sucks because then they hate you. Yeah, don't ever lie to your clients. And you're right. A lot of clients that come for readings already know the answer. What they're looking for is validation. Or they're looking for it not to be the answer. They want to be wrong. I seen a post in a group the other day. This girl was asking, I guess she went to 2 different readers, and they both gave her the exact same reading. And she was like, should I go to a 3rd reader? And I'm like, girl, that shit ain't gonna change. Like, you went to 2 readers, they said the exact same thing. You think a 3rd one's, going to tell you what you want to hear or what? You can go back with wigs and sunglasses and disguises and it's still going to be the same fucking reading. So, it's not going to change. So why keep wasting your money and going to different readers hoping for a different result? Because it's not going to be. Holy cow, I made it to a live stream. Hi, Kayla, how are you? Sounds like your spirit is hopping there. Yeah, we got a full house. I love the band Blue Oyster. Oh, you guys can hear the music? I had it so low I didn't even know if you guys could hear it. I have it on, my husband's laying over here. So a little bit of background noise and something to watch while I'm doing a video. Yes, I love Don't Fear the Reaper. You know, I'll tell you what, I was telling my husband this the other day too. The ATR traditions, well, some of them, not all of them, deal a lot with the dead. A lot of it is necromancy. I mean, a lot of us work with the dead and exclusively with the dead. And before, like a couple years ago, you know, I worked with my ancestors and I worked with spirits. I worked with some dead, you know, that I've made deals with at graveyards and such. But since being I am now technically like a priestess of the dead or whatever, it's actually helped me a lot personally. Like I said, these initiations are for your own personal spiritual growth. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's not about making money. It's not about, I mean, it is to get to a point where you can help people, you know, and pass it on and everything. But the main absolute focus is your own spiritual growth and your own path. And it's actually helped me tremendously get over my fear of death. And it's weird because that's all I'm surrounded by and it's all I do. But seeing it, because I've had bouts with death. I've had two. I actually died one time for like 3 minutes. And then a couple years ago I had another bout with death and I was very close. And I've always feared it, you know, like big time feared it. And it gave me anxiety and panic attacks and all kinds of stuff. But since being in a tradition like this, it's really helped me kind of overcome that because, you know, it's not the end. It's not. It's just a different existence. It's a different frequency. It's you know, and you can always come back. So it's not, you know, it's scary, you know, but it's actually kind of beautiful and it's helped me a lot personally, you know, get over that fear of death thing. So yeah, I don't fear the Reaper, man. I've been listening to that a lot. Okay, I still struggle with the possibility of bending another's will. I've always thought of witchcraft as a more personal experience, maybe like a fancy type of psychology. You're right, Megan. And as I was just saying before I read that comment, isn't that ironic? That it is about your personal experience and your personal growth and all that, and that should be your main focus. If you or someone you know or you've seen it around, people are getting into these systems, just want the spells. They just want the brujeria. They just want the hexes. They just want power. They just want this. They just want that. They ain't gonna last, and they're in it for the wrong reasons, and no spirits will support them. Well, unscrupulous ones might. I can't say that. When I do work with wild animals when I do work, the wild animals outside start freaking out. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't done anything in a while, though. That's interesting. I've never experienced anything like that. My husband walked in after a ritual and he said the air smelled like electricity. Yeah, my husband, I usually run him out when I'm working. And not on purpose, but like he'll just run away because number one, it gets really hot in here. And number two, I burn a lot of shit and I smoke, you know, like incense and cigars and it just gets like so smoky in here. It's like thick, you could cut it. So when I'm working, he usually goes in another room and locks himself in. Greetings, Aston McGuire. You're back. Hello. Sorry, my joke came out weird talking about the oil. Wait a minute. I don't know. You are right about that. This path, even though I'm not ATR, I'm in a different tradition. It's about personal growth, not money or power. It's disheartening when I see practitioners behave like that. Yes, it is. It is very disheartening. And, well, the house I'm in, which I think is one of the reasons why I had to go to this house, is specifically focused on healing. That's like the main focus. I mean, we do other shit, but healing and growth is the main focus. Because, like, I have a house here in the city, 20 minutes away, that I could have initiated into. But my spirits blocked me from that house. Because apparently the godparents of that house, which I'm now finding out are not, they're kind of unscrupulous. And they're kind of doing stuff opposite of the path that I'm supposed to be on, which I didn't know at the time, which is why I got blocked from it by my ancestors. So, no, I had to go across the country. I had to go literally halfway across the country to find my house. That's the only one my spirits and my ancestors approved to initiate into. There were alligators barking during one spell I did at my old place in Florida. We had a small creek in the backyard and a lot of swamp around us. That's awesome. I didn't know alligators barked. I'm just... They bark?
I think it's awesome to have a swamp in your backyard.
Yeah, it's awesome to have a swamp and a creek
and
all that with alligators. My husband loves alligators. He loves them. He always wanted to do something like, you know, like them Bayou movies where they pull up to a house on a boat or something and then somebody got an alligator tied to a tree. It's like a guard dog or something. Like, he loves that shit. But yeah, okay, alligators bark. Alright. I might have to, like, YouTube that. I want to hear an alligator bark. Whenever you can talk about what brought you into your path, I think it would really help others. Look it up. Yeah, I'm going to. Nothingness Chronicles. I'm totally going to look that up. Did I see you, or was it somebody else with a similar name? Nothingness Chronicles. Were you on Mama Spirit Tree's live the other night? Did I see you on there, or was it someone with a similar name? What was I just going to say? If I can talk about what got me into my path, I think, well, what really got me started on this path was a tragedy. I got into it the same reason a lot of other people got into it. The main reason was to save my life. And there's quite a few, many people that initiate for that reason, to save their life. That was one part of it. That was the first main reason that I got on this path. The second reason was because I have a task. I have a charge and a task given to me by my ancestors and my spirits to help people. And this path is going to permit me to help people in ways that matter. As I said previously, in pertaining to life and death situations and things like that, those are the kind of situations I'm going to be helping people with. So that's another reason why I got started on this path. But first and foremost, it was to save my life. It was, I had some nasty shit on me, and I almost died. So, yeah. I know I've talked to quite a few other people that are initiated in traditions, and quite a few of them also first initiated to save their life. A lot of people come to it that way. It's like you don't have a choice. You really don't. I go on her channel a whole lot. Yeah, I love Mama Spirit Tree. I built her website, you know. We trade off stuff. I built her website. She does some stuff for me every now and then. How do you deal with a few practitioner who just started and is doing stuff that they're not experienced enough to do? If they're doing stuff they're not experienced enough to do, they're gonna fuck their own shit up. I don't need to do anything about it. Yeah. I mean, if you're doing shit, I mean, but that's how we learn. That's how we gain experience, because you don't know until you learn it and experience it, right? But yeah, inexperienced practitioners are going to learn a lot of lessons. They'll kind of dig their own hole there. But when it comes to uninitiated people that are attempting to appropriate and practice initiatory systems that are alive, I've jumped down quite a few of those kind of people's throats. I have. And I will totally call them out on their bullshit. You guys saw the meme that I made. I've kind of been getting harped on about getting into gossip and drama. So I'm steering clear of that a lot, if you guys haven't noticed, especially on social media. But if I see something, when I see something that goes against their tradition, or uninitiated people just willy-nilly fucking with shit and doing shit, and I have called them out, but I usually do it in private now. You know, I'll PM them. I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you fucking, you know, like, it probably doesn't matter, but my spirits get pissed about it, so I'll try and scroll past shit a lot, and sometimes I can't. Sometimes my spirits are just like, do something about this, you know. Ancestors have expressed their concern. I am genuinely concerned for their safety. Who? Did I miss something? Oh, are you talking about the people who are not experienced? Yeah, that's what you're talking about. The people that aren't experienced doing shit they shouldn't be doing, they're gonna learn lessons. I mean, you can be concerned for their safety all you want. I used to be that way. Because there was a thing going around like 2 months ago. And it was like literally telling people to put sulfur in their shoes and in baths and feed it to their men. And like, what? My husband's laughing. Like, what? Like, this is gonna, like, really hurt people. Like, seriously, that somebody putting something out like that, because people are stupid, and they're just gonna follow stupid fucking Facebook memes without even Googling something, or looking around, or checking on anything. Do you guys know what sulfur does? Like, do you know what it is? What? Who? How can you? What? And this was a I'm going to say known, because that's the nice word to use. This was a well-known practitioner that's supposed to be an expert and like this and that, and she's running around making memes telling people to put sulfur in their shoes. And here's the kicker. You're supposed to put it in your man's bath to cure erectile dysfunction. Or maybe it wasn't to cure specifically erectile dysfunction.
The dysfunction, that's what they
give
you.
It was to like make him want to have sex more with you or something, but sulfur would do the opposite. It causes erectile dysfunction. It would, like, what?
That's what they give you in the army.
What?
They give it to you in the army so you won't get a hard on. Think about women.
Do you guys hear that? My husband was in the army, and he said they give you sulfur in the army to keep you from getting erections, so you aren't thinking about women while you're, like, you know, doing army stuff. Common sense, guys. Oh,
Called salt.
that harm people. That will fucking harm people. That shit.
Saltpeter.
Saltpeter. Instead of saltpeter, you call it saltpeter. This is great. Oh. Could you do a meme that says, so you aren't initiated in hoodoo, but you are calling yourself a priest? How's that working for you? Actually, Denise, hoodoo is not a religion. It's non-initiatory. It's just a practice. It's a dysphoria, tradition, and practice of African folk magic. It's not a religion, and there's no initiations for it. I think a religion and tradition could really be so helpful for me. I just haven't found one yet. You know what I found, Megan? It'll find you. It will find you. Because the one I'm on, I had never heard of it before. Until I met the practitioner that I met that helped me get well again. I'd never even heard of this tradition before. So, it came to me. And that's what will happen when it's time. And, you know what, I was 39. Actually, it started, when did it start? No, it started in 2015. So, I would have been 37. I was 37 before I found the path, or before it found me. And I had been looking for a path all those years, and I never found one. I never found one that I liked. I never found one that resonated with me. I never found one that didn't have a whole fuck ton of flaws and weird, just stupid, asinine, oxymoron bullshit. So I never found one, and like I said, it found me. But I've actually seen a theme where it's happening in your middle ages. A lot of younger people, unless your family, is initiated or in traditions or something like that. There's not a lot of younger people that initiate. It's usually people in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s that are finding the path and initiate. That seems to be the time, the theme I'm seeing of the age, a proximity of when a path will find you. Sulfur, holy shit, that was crazy. Just shaking my damn head. Yeah. Actually, quite a few workers came out on that one and did videos and lives and like all kind of radio blog shows, and everybody was talking about that shit. And you know what? I still see it pop up every now and then. Like, I still see someone sharing that fucking meme, and I'm like, why? Why is this, like, why wouldn't the creator of it have gotten rid of it? If she didn't know, to begin with, that was fucking ridiculous and fucking harmful, when everybody started coming out and calling her on it and telling her what it does, why wouldn't she remove that meme from the internet? Like, period. Like, forever. Take it down, go it away, because it's going to hurt people. I still see it pop up every now and then. I mean, it's unscrupulous. It makes no fucking sense. These people are going to kill people. Yeah, I know. But, I mean, you can't do anything about it. You really can't. But you can make a meme, you can make a video. Maybe a couple hundred people will see it. Maybe you'll help a couple people not die. But the stupid ones don't even do their research. They don't Google. They don't watch YouTube videos. They just, I don't know what the fuck they do, but they're not going to see it, and you can't help them. What is going to be next with the weird stuff? I've seen honey jars and sulfur so far. You know what? I've seen a trend in the last couple days. Nothingness Chronicles, actually the last week or so. I've seen money honey jars. What they're doing is they're not studying. Okay, there is a thing called a money pot, and it is a work. But people are hearing money pot, and for some reason they're thinking of a honey jar. They think it's like the same thing, or so. I don't know, but I've seen a lot of people in the last week or so making money honey jars, and those people are going to be po. They're going to be po for the rest of their life and wonder why. Because they got their finances stuck and frozen in some motherfucking honey. Yeah, the ignorance is rampant. How's your husband since the hottest pepper video? He's fine. Thank you for asking. He's fine. The person I bought that powder from, now that was Carolina Reaper powder. I bought the 3 hottest pepper powders on the planet when I ordered it. I ordered the Carolina Reaper powder, a scorpion pepper powder, and ghost pepper powder from this one seller. And he actually sent me like a whole ghost pepper with the powders. And he's never had a ghost pepper. And I keep telling him it's not as bad as the Reaper. But I don't think he trusts me anymore. I don't think he trusts me with the peppers anymore. But he loves that hot shit, guys. He does. Like, he loves hot shit. He'll eat jalapeno and habaneros, and yeah, he'll just fucking eat them. He loves that shit. He loves the hottest hot sauce he can get, you know, on his food and his tacos and, you know, whatever. He loves that hot shit. So, yeah, I mean, as you can see, he willingly, you know, tasted the powder. Good to know if I'm not in the mood for my man. Yeah, I mean, I hope that's a joke. I'm taking it as you're saying that as a joke because it's not temporary. It's not. You give your man a saltpeter sulfur bath. It's not like a temporary. He won't get a hard on for a week or two. It's like forever. It's like pretty permanent. So, yeah, don't be doing that, people. Good evening, Ron Ray. Am I saying that right? Or is it Ron Ray? Raya? Good evening. I follow you on Instagram and Facebook. You mentioned a new formulary oil. Have you added this to your website? I am placing an order tonight. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. I love you guys. I actually talked about it on the live just 20 minutes ago or so. It's not on the website yet because I haven't made it yet. I was going to make it tonight. Kind of tired though. It's a love oil. So I don't know if that's something you would be interested in. But as I was explaining, the name of the oil is called Tainted Love because because of the spirit that gave me the formulary for this oil. It's definitely going to be called Tainted Love. And the ingredients that are in it, it is not an oil for the faint of heart. It's not. And it's going to be one of my $21 specialty oils because of one of the ingredients that goes in this oil I can only get once a year. So it's like, if that shit's gotta last. It's either gotta last or, something, because there's a very special ingredient in this oil, and it's something I can only get in the summertime. And I have to harvest it myself. I gotta go out and find one. So, yeah, it's gonna be one of my specialty higher costing oils because of that ingredient. It's a very special ingredient. No, see, I told you, I am unlearned in this. Yeah, Yeah, you were, yeah, the initiations in hoodoo. I'm a hedge witch, but I find you so interesting. Well, head witchery, that's nature, if I'm not mistaken. That's like a nature kind of green witch, I guess it would be called. I think they do hedge witches do a lot of kitchen type witchery too, but a lot of people don't call themselves kitchen witches, I guess, even though it rhymes and it sounds cool. I'm a bit of a kitchen witch myself. I got a Miss Cleo tarot set from my late uncle's house and saw for entertainment purposes only in fine print. Also, she was a tarot shaman. What even is that? Well, one thing, Nothingness Chronicles. The entertainment purposes only is a law. It is a federal law. I don't know if you've ever looked at my website, but on every single product, I either have to put alleged, sold as a curio, or for entertainment purposes only. It is a federal law that one of those three statements must be on any magical, spiritual product. And you cannot technically make a claim of something will definitely produce a result. You can't do that. This is an old law. I think I talked about this in my last live or the live before that. It's an old law that's still in the books from like the 1800s when the snake oil salesmen, were going around town to town selling shit and scamming people and, all that. So they made a law that when you're selling products like that, and especially when it comes to health issues and stuff, you definitely cannot make any claims. You can't even, I had to change the name of my oil. Like, I can't even call it healing oil because that's making a claim. So I changed the name to Radiant Health, and I'm not even, that might be skirting the line there on what's actually legal. But yeah, you technically, according to federal law, you have to include one of those three statements on any magical or spiritual product. It's like a law. But a tarot shaman, you got me there. What even is that? Yeah. Now, I will say there's a lot. That's another, cultural appropriation in my eyes. Where are all these shamans coming from? Shamans are tribal. Right? It's a Native American, it's a tribal, and tribes had like one shaman per tribe. There isn't like, everybody's a fucking shaman. And it's definitely a tribal thing. Now, I do think my husband is a shaman, and he doesn't call himself that. I call him that because he is a lot Native American. His great-grandmother, who else? Your great-grandmother and your great-grandfather?
My grandfather, not my great.
Your grandfather and your great-grandmother. They were both full-blooded, what tribe? Apache. So, I think that's where a lot of his communication with spirits and stuff comes from, personally. Often, homeopathy is the opposite of what the actual element does in measurable doses. Yes, that is very true. How do you find the right teacher, and how do you know if they are legit? Speak to your ancestors. That's what I would do. Ask. What I wouldn't do is I wouldn't seek a teacher. This is where people got it fucked up. I would not go out and actively seek a teacher. I wouldn't do that. What I would do is go to your ancestors, go to your spirits daily, and pray that the right teacher is brought to you and comes into your life. That's step number one. That's the right way to do it. Step number two, how do you know if they're the right teacher? Research. Research. I researched the hell out of my godfather before I actually went and met him. You research him, online, do a background research, pay the $20, for a background check, all that shit. Research them. Look at ask about them in the community. How is their standing in the spiritual community? Definitely Google. Definitely do a background check. Just be smart about it, just like you would, with anybody else to find out if they're legit. I suggest everybody does that, but I don't suggest anyone goes out there and actively searches for a teacher or a mentor. Pray to your spirits and ask that the right one be brought to you. And when they show up, you'll know it. That's the only way I can put it. Po folks, yeah. Y'all gonna be po. Putting your money in a goddamn honey jar. What the hell's the matter with people? And I thought the love honey jar thing was bad. Now we got money honey jars. What the hell? What's the obsession with jars and hoodoo? Hoodoo, from what I've heard and read, is pretty cut and dry in what you need to do. Yeah, I don't know what the obsession with jars is either. I don't. I really don't. I think it kind of all comes from one well-known practitioner that has a large following who puts out all this bullshit, and people just follow it and spread it, and that's the only source I can trace it from, because like I said in previous videos, hoodoo comes from slavery, guys. It comes from slavery. Did slaves have an abundance of mason jars laying around the house? Did they have a big ass jar of honey that they could just waste in doing a jar spell? No. Hoodoo is all about simplicity and using what you have. It's all about that. I don't even, when it comes to straight hoodoo, you shouldn't even have to buy any supplies for it. You should be able to go out in the goddamn woods and get whatever the hell you need from nature to do that work. Unless it's like a picture. If you don't have it, download a picture and print it out. That's about the only thing that you should be needing to get off the internet or in a shop when it comes to hoodoo. If you need a picture of somebody. Other than that, you should be able to go into nature, speak with the spirits, and find the rock, the stick, the root, the herb, the tree, whatever you need to do that work. The insect, the animal, the whatever you need. It's out there. It's out there. And that's the way they did it. That's the way it was done. Hoodoo is so simple, and it works so good because it's so simple. The simple things always work the best. The simpler something is, the better it's going to work. And you might think, oh, this ain't nothing. What is this shit? I did something, I was told, let me put it this way, I was told by someone in my tradition to do something the other week, and it was so simple, and I was like, what the hell is this going to do? Like, it was like so simple. It was like 2 things, like do this and this, and you're done. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, really? This is it? Like, we could do this. We could do this big thing. We could, I could throw all this shit in there, and nope. Dude, put these 2 little things together and do this, and the simplest things always work the best. The simpler, the better. I don't know. I guess it's people, these eclectic workers, or whatever they want to call themselves, mishmashing their shit. Like, they're mishmashing, like the English and witchcraft and the high magic and the ceremonial magic, and like that, and they're like smushing it with hoodoo, and it's not. You're making it way too complicated. Like, it is not ceremonial magic. It is not high magic. It is not English magic. It is not Celtic magic. It is not any of this type of shit. It is simple, simplistic, slave folk magic. Simple. Cheap. Po. Because these people didn't have any money. Y'all, they didn't. Poe, you should be able to go outside and get whatever you need for work. Unless it's a picture. I saw the hot pepper video. He said you were trying to kill him. He says I'm trying to kill him a lot. He does. Like if I hug him too hard, he says I'm trying to kill him. I can't breathe, they're trying to kill me. He always thinks I'm trying to kill him. But it doesn't help because he's like a lot older than me, guys. Like he's like a good 30 years older than me. So he always thinks I'm trying to kill him. Oh, that's just a little joke we have. Life insurance next time, honey. The animals being concerned made me laugh at that. They were concerned, weren't they? That was a good video. Hedge witchery as in working with animal bones and crossing the hedge, riding the hedge. It all spells out to crossing over into the other world. Oh, that's interesting. So now that's a path I never really looked at, hedge witchery. I guess I thought it was something different. That's probably why I never looked at it. I work with a lot of crossroad spirits, like a lot. Like I have, and in fact, no, I can't say that. Can I? No, I can't say it. Yeah, can't say that. So I work with a lot of crossroad spirits. I have a lot that like. In fact, my spiritual deity father, that's the way I want to put it right, is a crossroad spirit. So yeah, I got a lot of crossroad spirits around here. Is that something new age? Tarot shaman shaking my damn head, right? I wonder what the hell is that? That's like an oxymoron. I practice a form of head witchery known as wildwood mysticism. It utilizes prayers as spells, if you will. Well, that sounds really cool, actually. Wildwood mysticism sounds really cool. And utilizing prayers as spells. I mean, we do that in hoodoo, too. We work with psalms a lot. And prayers and stuff. Now, powwow's a bit different. In that tradition, we work with the books of Moses, the 5 books of Moses. But hoodoo practitioners, a lot of psalms, a lot of prayers. I think shamanism is from Russia. So I don't know how it comes to be associated with medicine men and women. Really? Nothingness Chronicles? I always thought it was a Native American thing. He says it comes from Russia.
Well, it could be. I'm not going to say it don't.
I'll have to look into that. You guys are making me think. I'm gonna do some of my own research tonight after this conversation, guys. People want to be led. You need to look within, right? Thankfully, I'm anti-people. Me too. These live videos are about as social as I get, y'all. And you'll know when you meet them. Yes, you will. Okay, I grew up in an abusive home. My parents were abusers, so I do not use them as ancestors. There is only one ancestor that loved me because I saved her by talking her out of suicide. Okay, how can I put this? Your ancestors are your ancestors regardless of whether they were good or bad. They're still your ancestors. And if they didn't exist, you wouldn't exist. regardless of what kind of people they are, they're still your blood. They're still your DNA. They are still in you. They are you. So, we don't particularly like to work with ancestors that we know were not good people. But what we want to do is, at minimum, offer them light, a glass of water, and prayers of elevation. We can try our best to elevate them out of their darkness and their bad ways so that they may pass and move on. See, when it comes to ancestors, I don't know how to explain it. If you do the task you're supposed to do while you're here, when you pass, you can have a seat with your ancestors, the high ancestors, the ones, because our ancestors go back to dawn of time, guys. You have more ancestors that you never knew than that you know that have died. Way more that you never knew. And those are your ancestors too, from the whole way back from the beginning. So we need to work with all of those. And just because you don't know them doesn't mean you don't have them. Everybody has them. We got a crap ton of them. But what we need to do is still offer prayers and light and water for the ancestors that might not have led the best life. The prayer, if you Google, or if you're not familiar, there's a prayer to souls in purgatory and in tranquil spirits to lift them and elevate them. That is an excellent prayer to use for ancestors that led a not so savory existence in this frequency. See, I would definitely suggest that you do that, because regardless of whether you like them or not, or you want to acknowledge them or not, you wouldn't exist without them. If they didn't exist, you wouldn't exist. And they're still in your blood, they're still in your DNA, they're in your body, they are you. So to deny them is to deny a part of yourself. I mean, you know, so that's what we like to do for those kinds of ancestors. Next, people are going to do curse honey jars and not know why their enemy is getting good stuff or so. Actually, a curse honey jar would probably work really good. Make that motherfucker sticky and stuck in his situation and frozen, stuck, can't move. That's basically what a honey jar does. I don't know. A curse with a honey jar is probably the most, sane thing that I've ever heard. And pertaining to a honey jar, honestly. Yeah, you might have just given me an idea, actually. The Nothingness Chronicles, yes, the term shaman actually comes from the Russian tradition. Yeah, a lot of New Age sewage people use the term. It's disrespectful. See, you guys are learning me, man. You guys are learning me tonight. I always thought it was a Native American culture, like tradition, like they had shamans and medicine men and, stuff like that. Can you work with only one ancestor? I mean, no. No. You might just want to work with one ancestor, but no. You got tons of them, girl. You got tons of ancestors that got your back. Google ancestor memes once. I mean, the memes themselves are explanatory, like, standing strong because you're held up by all your ancestors. You got tons of ancestors. And, I think I said in one of my last videos, my main ancestor, my main guy for back, is like 8 generations back. Never knew him. No, never heard his name. Never, nothing. No pictures. No, 8 generations. That's a long fucking time ago. And think of how far back it goes beyond that. You know, ancestors, a lot. You got a lot of them. So yeah, you can't just work with one ancestor that you like. Don't work that way. Like, I always want to work with my grandmother. I want her to come around. I want to talk to her because she raised me. You know, she was like my mom, basically. You know, I need her advice sometimes. But I rarely ever know she's around, ever. She never really communicates with me unless it's through smells and stuff like that. Once in a while I hear her voice, but it's usually like she's bitching at me. Get them dishes done. What the hell's the matter with you? Look at them dishes. Shit like that, you know. But yeah, my main ancestor is a long way back. And a lot of people's are that way. In fact, most people's main ancestors, you ain't gonna know who they were. And nobody in your family is gonna know who they were because they're gonna be so far back removed that they're basically forgotten, you know. All magic is pretty simple, though, in my opinion. Not all. I got a friend. I call him the Merlin. He's the Merlin. He does some really complicated, high magic, mathematic, geometry, calculation, planetary, like, fucking shit. And it, you know, he's sending me shit all the time, and I don't understand half of it. It's like, what? Like, it's a really complicated ass shit. So yeah, not all magic is simple. Definitely not. Thanks for making me laugh. I need that after my crappy day. My lesson learned tonight is to get those brass-plated titties and get a thicker skin. Oh, that's awesome. You're making me laugh, too. Oh, Aston McGuire thinks we make a cute couple. I told him the other day, everybody's going to start asking me if he's my grandpa. Is that your dad? No, that's my grandpa. I told him I'm going to start calling him Pawpaw. He'd be Pawpaw, I'm Mawmaw. I love you, honey. He's giving me dirty looks. He's so sensitive about his age, and he shouldn't be. Hedge witch means someone who works on both sides of the veil regularly, the edge of worlds, and of course, a lot or working with herbs and nature. That's so cool, Marley. That's kind of what I do, actually.
Hedge witch, either side.
Yeah, I kind of... That's kind of what I do, though, isn't it? I kind of got one foot in this world and one foot in the other world because I'm working with the other side constantly. I'm not gonna, it sounds a lot like a lot of the work I do.
Hedge jumper.
I have a book by Gamma Gray called Charmer's Polster? The Charmer's Polster. I never heard of that book. Yes, I've had a bitchy, mean coworker once and just drew a picture of her on a piece of paper with her tongue hanging out and drew scissors cutting through her tongue. Did it work? I bet you it did. Put it under an old, newly cleansed black candle with "shut up" carved on it. Burned it down. Next week, she was sweet as pie to me. Yes. Those shut up ones work. See, and that's simple as shit. You didn't even download a picture off the internet. Simple. I mean, like, back in the day, pictures were rare. And if you got them, they were like 10 types. And pictures were rare back in the day when these traditions, were really practiced and created and everything. To get a picture of somebody was hard to do. Not a lot of people had pictures or had their pictures taken. And if they did, what did they do? Like, the death pictures, they would photographed them after they died. That was a custom for a long time, and that was usually the only picture of a person that the family had was after they died, because then they would come, you know, and take pictures after they died. That was a custom and a tradition. So yeah, pictures were hard to come by. So I mean, I personally like downloading ones off the internet. But yeah, drawing them works just as good. Or just the name and the birthday. If somebody asks me my full name and birthday, I get on guard. I'm like, what you talking about? What are you doing? What the fuck you doing? You don't give that shit out ever. Yep. Yes, you are right. Ancestors are in me. Yes, they are in you, but they're not just in you. I mean, they are in you, but they are you. You are them. Literally. I have a strong belief, and the further I go into learning, the more I'm believing it, is that the reason that lineage and ancestors are so important is because when ancestors reincarnate, they do it through their bloodline and their connection. So, you know, your little baby niece over here that just got born might be your great-great-great-great-great-great aunt reincarnated. And I believe it goes through bloodlines and lineage, and that's why it's so important. I really am starting to believe that. Kath M, yes, definitely. Simple always works best. I mean, I've done simple shit. I used to post, if you guys go on Facebook, just go on a Facebook search and Google hashtag a hoodoo a day. Google that hashtag in the search, or not Google it. Search that on the Facebook search. Hashtag a hoodoo a day. A couple years ago, 2 years ago, I was doing those every day, and they are so fucking simple. And you don't know how many messages I got from people telling me after I would post something that day that it fucking worked. And they couldn't believe it because of how simple it was. The simplest shit works, and it works the best. The best oils, the best powders, the best everything has simple and few ingredients. I don't think I have more than 5 ingredients in anything I make. They're always simplistic, and they always work good, according to my reviews. I only know half my family, so ancestor works are always interesting to me. Yeah, I mean, like, my main ancestor comes from a part of my family that I have no idea about. Like, I have no idea. And of course he comes from that line, because I can't, like, really research it. Because anybody that knew anything about that side is gone. So, yeah. It always works out that way, too. I saw this in a movie, but for me it worked. A person, gossiping pure evil about me. I took a butcher's ordered cow tongue, twisted it, nailed both sides on a board, and then buried it. Yeah, that's a cow tongue spell. Let me guess. What was the movie? Devil's Advocate, right? With the cow tongue. Yeah, that's where a lot of people got that. But that's actually like a real work. It's usually not so simple as just nailing it to a board and burying it. Like, you should kind of slice it and put stuff in it. And you know, to a board, I nail mine to trees in the woods. Yes, I would do that for my ancestors. My Aunt Freda is like a best girlfriend, always asking hi, how's it going? She is most helpful. Also, like my husband, I actually haven't determined his main ancestor, but he has an Aunt Bessie that's like with him big time, and apparently that was his grandmother's sister, so like his great aunt. And I think he met her once or twice when he was really, really young, but he didn't remember her. He didn't remember her. And when he got the reading and it was Aunt Bessie came out, he was like, Bessie? Aunt Bessie? He's like, no, that ain't right, you know. But then he went home and he asked his mom if he had an Aunt Bessie, and she was like, yeah, that was your grandma's sister. So he didn't even know he had an Aunt Bessie, and the reader pulled, got it. I did a reading once for somebody, and I kept hearing Aggie, Aggie, and I'm thinking I'm hearing it wrong, right? I'm like, is it Maggie? And they're like, no. And I'm like, Margaret, Angie, and they're like, nope, Aggie. And I'm like, oh, okay, Aggie. And when I gave the reading to the person, I'm like, whoever is talking kept saying Aggie. And he was like, oh my God, my grandma's name was Aggie or something. I was like, so, yeah, weird stuff comes out. So I'm really good at pulling names. That's like one of my gifts when I do a reading. I can usually pull the name of whoever's speaking. And from what I hear, there's not a lot of people who can do that. They can actually pull names like that. My dad's Catholic mom practices witchcraft, divination, etc. Catholics do. Catholic is a very witchcrafty mainstream religion. That's why a lot of ATRs are synchronized with Catholicism, because it's very witchcrafty. Oh, damn, I have to work with more ancestors. I better get rid of the damned family reunion then. Just kidding. Denise, one tip. When you put up a space for your ancestors, it doesn't necessarily have to be an altar, but they should have their own space. They can even be in the corner on the floor or something. Don't put any living people amongst the dead. Like, I have a picture over here from my family reunion that I would love to put on my ancestor altar because almost all of them are dead, but there's still one in that picture of like 30 people that's alive. So I do not put that picture with the dead. When you put the living with the dead, you're pretty much giving them a death sentence because you already put them there. They're already with the dead. They're already dead. So you basically give them a death sentence. So we don't mingle the living with the dead in that way. What if you don't know any ancestors beyond your grandparents and have no way of knowing? It doesn't matter. There are practitioners that do ancestral investigations that can give you more information about your ancestors that you don't know. Facebook page Ancestor Healing. Ancestor Healing does ancestral investigations, and I've had those readings, and that's how I found out a lot about who my main ancestors are and stuff. They will come to you, trust me, at Denise. Yes. Did you see that movie, Rainbow and the Serpent? What did you think about that movie? Well, yeah, I seen it. I mean, it's Hollywood, and they fucked it up a lot. But there actually is a story in my tradition, and I didn't know, like my godfather's telling the story, right? And we're all sitting there. It was a video with the whole house, right? It was like a Skype or something, and we're all sitting there and we're listening to the story, and it started sounding really familiar. And when it got like to almost the end, like three of us were like, "Oh my God, that's Serpent and a Rainbow, right?" And he was like, "You got it." And we were like, "Oh." Yeah, it's actually a thing. It's a real thing, but, the movie is bullshit Hollywood. My godmother, who died before I was born, is definitely one of my gods. She lost 2 of her 3 children, and when I was an abusive religion that almost killed me. Hold on. Trying to... Okay. You were in it. Okay, so you were in an abusive religion that almost killed you? Lord, what kind of cult were you in, girl? Like I said, I only know half of my family. My mom, to be more specific, and I think I have met ancestors from both sides. I think you will. You'll meet ancestors from all sides. Like, you know, I was raised by my grandparents, and so I have a really strong connection to the maternal line of my ancestry, but I also have quite a few from my dad's side. I mean, I know my dad, but like he kind of left, you know, when I was young, and I mean, now, about 10 years ago, we started, you know, like communicating and stuff, and we don't communicate a lot, but he was never really around, and I mean, I know that side of my side's grandparents, you know, I know his mom and dad, my grandparents, and, but that's about it. I know some of his brothers and sisters, and that's about it, but I have a lot from that side as well, and actually that's where the patron family saint comes from that I have, because that side of the family is Catholic, and that side of the family has a patron family saint, which would also be my patron family saint, because I have half of that lineage, you know, so that's where that comes from. But like my main ancestor comes from like a divorced, debunked like relationship, and nobody ever talked about him. Like my mom's dad, my mom's real dad. My grandfather adopted my mom when she was 3, and my grandmother was divorced from the guy, from my mom's dad, and so like apparently he was very abusive. He was an alcoholic, you know, this and that. But like my main ancestry comes from that line. Like my mom's real father's line that nobody knows anything about, nobody talks about. And the only person that knew anything, my grandmother, she'd been gone for, you know, 10 years. So, yeah, it's hard sometimes. My Scottish side of my ancestry would laugh at me knowing I woozed out today. I understand that my dad's family descended from Picts? Am I saying that right? I've never heard of that culture. Picts culture. That's interesting. Yeah. So I know the Irish are known to be drinkers, and are Scottish that way as well. You know, I really want to get one of those DNA ancestries now. I keep meaning to do it, and then like I never think about it when I have money and stuff, you know, like that's the last thing I'm thinking. But me and my husband, I think we're going to get one done together pretty soon, actually, because he wants to get his done too. Yeah, I really want to get that ancestry thing done, because as far as I'm aware, I'm German and Italian, and that's all I'm aware of. I'm sure there's a lot more in there, but that's as far as I'm aware. I have a jawbone with shut your mouth on it. I have a jawbone too. And I got it from a witch in Scotland to use. I asked the man, can I insert the word damned in there? He just laughed. Yeah, shut your damn mouth. You know, I don't know if I talked about this on the last slide, but I talked about it on one of them. Shut the fuck up. Now, this is one good thing that a jar is good for. And this is why I don't understand why people do so many works in jars, because jars trap things. You seal them, they trap them. They're like, why would you put your money in honey and trap it in a jar and imprison it and make it sticky and frozen in that situation and love? And I don't understand where this is coming from. Jars are traps. They trap things. This is why we, sour jar, they're okay. I've actually done enemy jars, you know, in the past. Stick my enemy in a jar with some shit, broken glass, nails, pins, tacks, whatever I can find that's sharp and cutting, mirrors, broken mirror, all that shit, other stuff, put it in a jar and, you know, shake that fucking shit up, slice them. That kind of shit works, but it traps them in the jar. Shut the fuck up, jars are really good. I actually have one that I work sometimes. But what's good about that kind of work is you can put as many motherfuckers in there as you want. It's not just a one person kind of deal. You don't need a jar on every person you want to shut up. You make one shut up jar and you stuff everybody in there that you want to shut their fucking mouth. And then you put whatever ingredients you want to put in there. I think on the one live I actually gave the ingredients. I actually make a shut the fuck up oil. That's good. And then you put the ingredients in the jar, seal it up, trap them in there, burn candle on top of it, and this is where like the oil would come in handy. You anoint the candle with the shut the fuck up oil. There's also a shut the fuck up powder. I might make that, but you can buy it. I don't make it yet, but I might make it in the future. There's also a shut the fuck up powder, but I make the oil. And yeah, shut the fuck up jars are excellent. Love them things. I especially get on guard about my age. Yeah, my husband does too. He's really touchy about his age. He always has been. Ancestors are you. You are them. Yes. Yes. This is not a hard concept to grasp. Instead of a skeleton in the closet, my family seems to have a mausoleum. Yeah, I think all families are like that, though. Oh my god, I'm finally starting to understand the ancestors. Yay! Somebody's getting it. Ancestors aren't hard, guys. But they're your best and strongest spirits and allies ever, because they are you, you are them. They want you to succeed. They want to help you succeed. Why would they want their line to fuck up in their lineage and their blood and themselves? Their future. They wouldn't. The sins, I think you mean sins, of the Father are the sins of the Son. That's more of a Catholic concept. I don't know if I really would believe into that. It's like the original sin with Adam and Eve and all that bullshit. I don't prescribe to any of that either. I loved your hoodoo a day. Thank you. Yes, they were simple and easy and wonderful. And why? Like, I've had like 9 or 10 of you all night, and all of a sudden I'm up to 20 people at like 10 o'clock. And I'm starting to get tired. When I went simplistic in my practice, my power got stronger. Yes, Denise. Simple is always better. And I'll tell you what. It's better if you get your own shit and get it fresh, too. Well, instead of, you know, I mean, some herbs, yes. You need specific herbs for specific things, and not all herbs grow in all zones, in all areas. You know, sometimes you gotta order shit. You do. But I try to either grow most of the shit that I use in the summer, or I try and go out and find it. If I can't find it, then, you know, I'll break down and I can't grow it, then, you know, some shit I gotta get from people, especially for my tradition shit, because that shit's like tropical, you know, other countries and like stuff like that doesn't really grow here that much. So some stuff, yeah, you gotta get, but the more you can gather yourself, grow yourself, harvest yourself, find yourself, the more potent it's gonna be. I was impressed when the aunt who I talked about of suicide came out to meet me face to face in Arizona. Awesome. Devil's advocate, yes? Wow, I'm probably way behind. That was a long time ago. Now is intuition spirit? Yeah, it is. Your intuition is your ancestors speaking to you, because they are you and you are them. You gotta listen to that shit. You really, that's where 99.9% of people fuck up, is they don't listen to their intuition, their selves, their gut. They're not listening to their spirit. They're not listening to their ancestors. Good advice. Separate the living from the dead. Always. Cliche, but the book is much better than the movie. Is that Devil's Advocate? I never read the book. My last name used to be Allen, and I wondered if I was related to the real Dr. Allen. You know, immediately when I read that, I thought Tim Allen. Tim Allen, you know, the tall guy. I don't know why I thought that. My family is infamous, and I hear people talking shit about my ancestors a lot. Well, people are gonna talk shit. There ain't nothing you can do about that, except maybe a shut the fuck up jar. That's gotta suck, though. I know it irritates me being in a tradition when I hear people talking about it wrong and thinking it's something that it's not. You know, it's just, oh, it's really irritating and aggravating, so I think I kind of know how you feel. My abusive ex tried to kill me, and I swear I heard a woman's voice tell me to shut the door, and I did, and later found out he had a gun. You probably did hear a woman's voice. I mean, I hear my spirits all the time, like that, but it's not in your ear, like literally in your ear, like someone's talking in your ear. Once in a while, I get that. Once in a great while. But it's literally like a voice in your head. And I usually know who's speaking because a lot of them sound different. As weird as that may sound, like Papa has an accent. He has a very strong accent, so I know when he's speaking. I know when quite a few of the other ones are speaking too, because their voices are totally different, just like normal human voices, but it's not an audible in your ear kind of voice. It's in your head, like a conscience, intuition kind of voice. I misjudged you on appearance. You're the real deal. Well, thank you. Clarity. Never judge a book by its cover. Hey, I've done videos on that. Never judge by appearance. Ancestry DNA is the shit. It opened the door to many of my ancestors. Awesome. I want to get that done so bad. So bad. I've actually tried, you know, the ancestry tree thing to build. I think I got pretty far. I mean, I'd like to get a lot further, but I got, especially on my mother's side, I got back to my grandmother's parents' parents. So I guess that would be like great grandparents. I've gotten that far on that side, but I'd like to get a lot further. My deceased mom-in-law kept harassing me to give his son a message. Husband did not believe me until I repeated her words because Grandma says so. He cried and said, "You really did hear my mom." Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, they're not going to leave you alone. They won't. I think I talked about earworms in the last one. It's that they're not going to leave you alone. If they want something done, something said, you're gonna they're gonna bug you until you do it. So you might as well just fucking do the shit. Get it over with. I don't know what ancestry kit to do. There are some that tell you all about what diseases you can get, and some tell you individuals you share DNA with, and so many others. Yeah, I know. I've looked into that too. So far from what I hear, and most of the people I know that have gotten their ancestry done, they've done it through 23andMe. That's the one so far that I hear is like a really good one. I don't know because I haven't experienced it. But I've heard that one is a lot better than the one you get from Ancestry.com. And I also heard that the Ancestry.com ones, they like save it. They save like your DNA, and I don't know about you guys, but that kind of freaks me out because somebody else having my blood, like, you guys are workers, you know what the hell I'm talking about. That kind of freaks me out a little bit. I want that shit burned and disposed of when after the test is over. Hi, Rebecca Lucas, you're back. Just got on. Thanks for your help. I'm interested in what turns up. Awesome. The shut the mouth jawbone, you wrap red wool yarn around each red painted tooth once a day until covered. That's really interesting. I've never heard that one. I am learning so much stuff tonight. You guys are learning me. That's awesome. I love learning stuff. And it's so rare. It's a treat when I learn new stuff. I just got a coyote skull painted and mounted by an artist, but I feel the spirit of this animal is speaking to me as a guardian and a devoted friend. Well, could be. I mean, I wouldn't say that's not possible. Yeah, my husband collects skulls and taxidermy animals and stuff, and he says each one of them has a spirit in it, and you know, he talks to them and stuff. I personally haven't really experienced that as far as animal bones go. I mean, I can feel, you know, when I work with an animal bone, I can feel the energy of it, and that kind of deal. But as far as like the animal speaking to me or something, I have not experienced that. Do we have a responsibility as a future ancestor to the future generations? Are there things to do now? Teach them. You ask the best questions, Tukawaka. I enjoy having you on here. Teach them. And I know it's hard. I know the kids don't respect the elders anymore, which is fucking ridiculous. But I mean, if you think about it, it's been this way forever. Elders are respected. You learn from elders, and elders teach the younger generation. It's like a major big deal, and I don't understand this generation that they disrespect the elders so much, and they don't care. They don't care. They don't listen to them. I don't understand it, but I would, if you want to do something for the future generations, I would teach them as much as you can teach them. Just tell them stories. You know, tell the stories of your living family now and their parents, and, you know, as far back as you can go and what you know about. Teach them. Tell them. Write it down. Yeah, in my tradition of powwow, the history, the family lineage was always kept in a Bible. I don't know about anybody else, but that was my family's tradition. It's my grandmother's Bible, and they go back. They go back as far as she can remember, and like her parents and her parents' parents, and that. But it's kept in the Bible, and that Bible is sacred. I need to talk to my grandfather, because I'm hoping, that nobody else is gonna want that Bible. I'd really like to have that Bible when my grandfather's gone. I would love to have that Bible. And I'm hoping nobody else wants it. My aunt sniped all my grandmother's recipes when my grandmother passed away. And that, I mean, it's alright because she shares them with me. You know, if I forget one of my grandma's recipes, I can just call my aunt up and be like, hey, what's this? And she, you know, she'll give it to me. So she shares. So, you know, it's not a total loss, but I still kind of wish I would have got them. I use cedar a lot because where I live, there are tons of cedar trees. Also, pine is good incense, and it can be turned into pine tar, and you can use it to seal stuff up. Yes, I love working with trees. Nothingness Chronicles. I work with cedar a lot as well, and pine, and it's probably because I was raised in the fucking mountains on the Appalachian Trail. But my grandfather, when I was young, I remember him. We'd go for hikes, you know, in the woods all the time. And I always remembered him teaching me the trees when we go for hikes. You know, he'd point out a tree and say, this is that kind of tree. He'd grab a twig off of a tree and he'd give it to me. He'd say, chew on that. As they're chewing on it is good. He'd be like, that's a birch tree. And I'm like, awesome. You know, like, he would teach me, he taught me about well, not all of them, but a lot of the trees that were native, you know, to the mountain that we lived in. He taught me about bushes, the different berry bushes, and some of the plants, not a lot of them. Animals, like where to find them, how to spot them, how to spot like a deer thicket, you know, stuff like that. We did all that stuff when I was a kid. And I actually had a conversation with him the other night, which was really cool. He told me about his dad's dad. So it would be like my great-great-great-grandfather. He was a renowned medicine man. And my grandfather told me that he used to spend all his time in the woods. Like, nobody could ever find him because he was always out in the woods, like, learning shit and picking shit and gathering shit and all this and that. And my grandfather said he made this stuff called, it was just called black tar, is what he called it. And he said you could put that on any kind of wound or cut or like anything like that. My grandpa said it would heal it no matter what. It would heal it. And he said he also made like a tincture with alcohol and like some herbs or like something. And if you drank that, it would cure like any kind of cold or stomach bug or, you know, like any kind of that kind of stuff. I wish to hell my grandfather had that knowledge to teach me, but unfortunately, he even said it was lost. He actually told me that nobody knows those things anymore. Nobody knows how to do those things anymore. So that's a shame. Serpent in the Rainbow. Dude, I am way behind, guys, on the comments. I'm just talking too much. I said that quote about the sins of the father, etc., regarding the whole ancestor thing. That those are you and you are them. Yeah, but the sins aren't passed on. I don't believe in that. It was in my ear. Okay. Hello there, Spirit of the Witch. You have come back. What can I do with a raccoon skull and feet? Good question. What can we do with a raccoon skull and feet? Now, I know raccoons have penis bones, and I've worked with those before, but I don't know about skulls and feet. Trash pandas. I'm trying to think of what raccoons do. You know, what they could be used for. They dig. Wait, you know, raccoon paws are like people hands. They are. I mean, they have opposable thumbs and everything, like a monkey and people, and raccoons have like little people hands. So maybe something along that lines. Skull. I don't know. I'm running out of battery, guys. 15%. Don't know about the skull. I'd have to think about that when I get through all these questions before my battery dies. All of them sell your DNA to third-party people, and that just freaked me out too. So that is why I'm dubious of it. Yeah, that kind of... I wish my dog would quit cutting me off here. Speaking of earworms, the songs from Jesus Christ Superstar have been stuck in my head for over a week. I actually have never seen that movie. Believe it or not. Rock opera 1973 version, but I don't know what it means. I think if you really sit in silence and listen to the words, listen to the song maybe, and think about it, you'll probably figure out what they're trying to tell you. Don't use your real name. FBI can get a court order to match you and your family members because they will be close enough genetically. Use a fake name or a number when doing your DNA test. Oh. That's interesting. I get going to the Chapel of Love stuck in my head all the time. Once I heard the same song played everywhere I went that day. It was a song that hasn't been on the radio for years, too. You know, that happened to me the other night. I was at the hospital. And actually, it's the song playing right now in the background, if you guys can hear it. It's Hallelujah. And I play that every night downstairs. It's like my opening song when I go down there and start lighting everybody up and saying my prayers. I always put on Hallelujah first. And we were at the hospital visiting someone the other night, and it was a bad situation, you know. And we were in the cafeteria eating and just, you know, sitting there killing time, and Hallelujah came on the fucking radio in the cafeteria at the hospital. It was like, and they weren't playing anything like that. They were playing like classic rock station or something in the cafeteria, and all of a sudden Hallelujah came on, and I was like, holy shit. Like, That was definitely, and I know who it was too. That was definitely one of my spirits talking to me, giving me a fucking message. Because do you hear hallelujah on the fucking radio unless you're listening to a gospel channel? I know I don't. That's a definite message. I have had dreams where my animals have talked to me in human form. It was really weird. I still have dreams where my snakes tell me they are hungry, even though I don't have them anymore. I mean, animals have spirits too. You guys know that, right? I've actually had pet cats and stuff that still hang around. I see their spirits once in a while and stuff. So maybe put something out for your snake spirits, buddy. No, they eat like mice or something, don't they? Kind of hard to put something out for that. Do they eat anything else? I think snakes just eat little live critters, right? I don't know what you could put out for them then if you don't want to put like a mouse in a bowl or something. What do you give a snake? That's funny. But yeah, okay, so if your animal spirits are contacting you, if they're telling you they're hungry, I'd try and give them something to feed them. They're a spirit, just like any other spirit. So good, Denise. I love the man who played Judas. I've never seen that movie, guys. Maybe I need to watch it. Yes, Megan was awesome. Pine tar salve. Yeah. I use pine and cedar a lot in my works. Cedar is great for money and cleansing and healing and even a little bit of banishing is good for. And pine is excellent for all those things too. It's great for healing. It's great for protection because pine needles are sharp. I don't know if you ever stepped on one of them fucking things, but they hurt. Pine needles are sharp. They're great for protection. Burn them. They're good for protection and purification and all that kind of stuff. Healing. What an awesome experience you had with your grandpa walking through the woods, learning about trees. Yeah, I wish I would have cherished it more at the time when I was a kid, but, you know, when you're a kid, I mean, I was little when we did those things, like, not even in my teens. I make a soap and a salve. Awesome. I'd love to do stuff like that. Dude, you guys have the best music. That's fine. Now you guys, that's me. Hey, I actually have made it to alive. Hi, Ancient Visions. Hello. Queen of the Damned soundtrack, Rob Zombie. Did I play a Rob Zombie song? House of a Thousand Corpses. That was the only Rob Zombie song on there. House of a Thousand Corpses. To me, Raccoon Head represents the head of the home security. I feel represent aliveness and moving forward. They could be security, because they're mean little fuckers. Yeah, it could definitely be security.
They're also night.
Yeah, they're nocturnal, too. Could be good nighttime security. So, yeah. Good ideas. You're awesome, girl. Thank you, Spirit of the Witch. Water. Yeah, give them water. But I don't know how much that would do if they're hungry. But that's my dog, not a spirit, y'all. She wants to go OUT. Can we at least know your zodiac sign? I'm a Pisces. You guys should be able to guess my sign, man. Yep, I had a ghost cat that would sleep in my bed sometimes. I'll tell y'all another story real quick before my battery dies, because I don't see any more questions. Hi, Princess KLS. No, I'm not Taurus. Well, that was a story. I had a cat, all black cat, and it was really sad, actually. We went on vacation, and it was only like for 2 days. It was like a weekend, so I just put out a lot of food and water for the cats, you know. And, you know, I knew it would last him way longer than 2 days. And I came home, and I couldn't find my black cat. And I'm like, couldn't get out. Like, where's my cat? And I wound up finding him under the dresser. And somehow he was paralyzed from, like, the waist down. Like, his whole back half was, like, paralyzed. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what, you know, or anything, what caused it or anything like that. But his whole back half was paralyzed. And, you know, I took him to the vet, and the vet couldn't do anything. And I didn't want to put him down because he was pretty young. He was only like a 6-year-old cat. So I kept him, I had, you know, I had a little cat bed for him, and I got him little preemie diapers, you know, and I would change his diaper every day, and I would hand feed him, canned food and everything, and, you know, love on him and stuff, and it was horrible experience. He lasted about a month like that, and he died one night while I was sleeping, and it was horrible. He, like, I woke up to the most insane sound. I'll never forget it in my life, and I can't even describe what it sounded like, but my cat was screaming, and it almost sounded like a person or a baby screaming. It was intense, and it was horrible, and he died in my arms. I held him, you know, for a couple hours till he passed away. But I buried him out in the yard. I wrapped him up in this black cloth, and wrapped him up tight in this black cloth, and we buried him out in the yard. And about a year or two later, I started making jewelry, and I was doing work and, like, all this stuff. So I told my husband I wanted him to go out and dig up the cat, because I thought by then he'd be bones, you know. So we both go out, and he digs up the cat, and we pull the wrapped cat up out of the dirt, right? Because I wrapped him up in this cloth, and my husband is unwrapping, and we could see, because the cloth was wrapped so tight on him, you could see the outline of his skull and his bones, and, like, you could see it through the cloth because it was wrapped so tight. And my husband stood there, and he's unwrapping the cloth, and unwrapping the cloth, and unwrapping the cloth, and unwrapping the cloth, and he finally unwrapped the cloth, and it was empty. Like, it vanished. The cat vanished. And there was not a bone, not a hair, not a nothing in that cloth. It was poof, gone. And it was one of the most insane, craziest experiences I've ever had in my life. Because you could feel the weight. You could see the outline of his bones and his skull in the cloth. And he unwrapped, and nothing. It gone. My husband and I just stood there for like 20 minutes, just going, this is like fucking impossible. Like, impossible. It was it was the most craziest experience, guys. I swear to God, it's 100% fucking truth, man. One of the craziest experiences I've ever experienced. Me and my husband have been through a lot of shit together. So yeah, I never got my bones in that. But the cat's around. I mean, I don't know if he, like, turned into spirit or, like, what happened when he vanished, but he's around. I see him sometimes. I hear him sometimes. Yeah, it's really... I'm gonna have to cut this off, guys. My battery's almost dead. Alright, you guys aren't getting it. I'm a fucking Scorpio. You guys know I'm a Scorpio, man. Come on. Oh, you guys, yeah, it was you know, that's life. That's nature. It's sad. It was a horrible time. Raised 4 kittens with my mom, and they got to adulthood, but 2 of them were gotten by coyotes. Aw. That's sad. I got 4 cats now. I'm only supposed to have 2. But my landlord does watch my videos. Another black cat owner. Yeah, I have another one now. He's a Maine Coon. He's a big, fluffy, long-haired black cat. Oh my God, wow, cat was gone. Yes, he just poofed. Iced Tea Demon Story was hilarious. Yeah, we got run out of town on that one. I want to hear about the Iced Tea Spirit. It's on my videos, Marlena. If you go back On my channel, look in the old videos. It's the video titled "My Husband is a Demon." Watch that video. That's the iced tea demon story. Water sign, of course I am. But I got water and fire. I'm both. I'm balanced. Okay, it's dimming, guys. I gotta say goodnight. This was excellent. I learned things. I hope you learned things. And hopefully we'll do this again next week. Like, subscribe, and share, guys. The link to the website for my products is below the video, along with the link to my Facebook page and the Instagram. Like, subscribe, and share. Good night, guys.